you gotta do is strike this bad boy, and now you got a nice hot flame. Hey everybody, what is up, and welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk about the 3 best ways and the number 1 way that, in my opinion, to start a fire in an emergency situation. Now, we're talking emergency situations here. I mean, you can use this to start a fire anytime you want to, but the number 1 way is going to be pretty much for an emergency situation. It's not how I would start a fire if I was just camping or just making a fire. But the reason why I've always wanted to make this video is I wanted to do it for a while because nobody in the bushcraft community or the survival community or anybody ever talks about the number 1 way to start a fire. And I learned this doing search and rescue. And I'm going to show you guys. And you see I got something over here we're going to talk about. But we're going to go through number 3, number 2, number 1. Now, the first way you can start a fire, which is a good way, don't get me wrong, but you have to get proficient how to use it, is using a ferro rod like this one right here. Now, you guys can, if you're in an emergency situation, and as you can see, there's snow on the ground. So the reason why I want to do this video today is because it's wet. There's snow on the ground. The things we're going to be trying to light are wet, but you want to try to find the driest material that you can. So the reason why we're going to do this is we're going to show you guys one of the best ways and one of the things. It's very cheap, very easy, and something that you can always have around and on you, and it will get a fire going. Wet wood, dry wood, whatever it is, it'll do it. So anyway, back to this. The third way, and one of the good ways, is using a ferro rod. Now you guys can go find dry timber in the woods, find the driest stuff you can. What I did is I went and picked out, I broke off a couple of these branches, and to show you kind of what you're looking for, is you want things that are just going to snap and break like that. They just need to break apart. You know, sizes like that. You're looking for dry stuff. I found all this on standing trees, not stuff laying on the ground because that's going to be wet, but you want just stuff that'll break apart like that. And that's the kind of material you're looking for. You can find it even in the rain. The standing trees that are dead will have some dry stuff on it, and you find this material that can just snap apart just as easy as can be. You can make feather sticks out of this. You can do all kinds of stuff to show you guys. And then you can take that. I got this other branch here. You'll see how easy, see how it just snaps. If it bends, it doesn't just snap like that, then you don't want it. You want it to be able to just snap and break like that is what you want. Toss this out here now that I've done that for you guys so you guys can see. You want very dry, brittle stuff, which I found on dead standing trees on my property. And then you'll build yourself a tinder bundle, which I'm going to show you a video of right now. You'll make your little tinder bundle. I use my knife. You make your tinder bundle. You whip out your ferro rod, and you go, and you get your fire started, and it gets going, and you guys can see how that worked out. And you know, you get your fire going, and then you've got a fire, and you go gather dry wood, and you can build from there and get your fire going and get a fire going. That's the third way. All right, that's not the number 1 way. That's the third way. That's number 3 on my list. Now, if you guys have seen my video, I always carry, I usually have 2 ferro rods on me. I have one on my knife. There's a ferro rod right there. And then I have one in my pocket, which is probably my favorite, is this Zippo one, which comes out like that. It's got the striker right there. This thing works awesome. This is great. I will leave links down below to this ferro rod. I'll leave links down below for this ferro rod too, if you like this kind of. This is the Baylite one. These are really good. They work really good. This is the bigger one. This is like a 6-inch one, but this one I love. I keep it in my pocket. It's great. Neither one are very expensive, and they work really awesome. Now, the next thing that you can use, which is what people usually think is the number 1 way to start a fire, is a lighter. And if I can dig in my pocket here, let me get in my pocket here, see if I can find my lighter. It's down in here somewhere. Oh wait, it's in this pocket. So a lighter. A lighter is number 1 way. It's instant fire. It's not the number 1 way though. People think it's the number 1 way. Excuse what I'm saying. People think this is the number 1 way because you can flick it. It's got instant fire. And you would think this would be the number 1 way to do it. But I will tell you a couple things about a lighter. In very high altitudes and high winds, lighters are really hard to get things to light and stuff. And in some altitudes where the air is really thin, once you get up in the Rocky Mountains and places like that, a lot of times your lighter won't even flick. So that can end up being a downfall. It is a great way to start fires. And I start fires 99.9% of the time with a lighter. I'm usually not using one of these, but I do try to stay proficient in one of those. But a lighter is the way to go. It's an instant flame. You get an instant flame. You got a lighter. If you guys are wondering, I have a little bit of duct tape on there. That's actually tinder. I can take that duct tape and shred it up, and I can light that on fire to help get my fire going if I'm struggling. But a lighter is a great fire starter. But that's number 2 on my list. That's number 2. That's not number 1. Most people will say that that's the number 1 way to start a fire. But we're talking about emergency situations, all right? Now, I carry 2 lighters on me, and I carry my 2 fire starters on me at all times as far as my ferro rods go. But I also have something else that I carry in my packs and in my vehicles. And that's what we're going to talk about now. And this is the number 1 way to start a fire in an emergency situation. Like I said, I learned this doing search and rescue, and that is highway road flares. Now, you can buy a pack of these highway road flares. This is a fresh pack that I haven't even opened yet. I have a bunch of these. They make 30-minute and 15-minute burners. This is the 15-minute burner, so it's small and compact, and I'm going to show you this case and how I have it in there. But it's very small and compact, and these are very easy to use because you're just striking light. You pop your tops off, if I can remember how to do it. You pop your top off. You got your striker right there to strike it. So you want to take that off right there. Here's your igniter right here. Okay. So you pull your cover off so you can get your striker. You got your igniter right there, and you're just going to go and you're going to just strike it like that. When you strike it like that, that's going to give you a 15-minute white hot flame that is going to burn anything. It's going to start wet wood, dry wood, you name it. Now, the 30-minute ones are longer than these, so I like to use the 15-minute ones because they're shorter and they're easy to carry. But this is something right there you can throw in your truck, you can throw in a backpack, you can throw in everything. And this, to me, is the number 1 way to start a fire in an emergency situation because it can get anything going. And we're going to demonstrate that for you guys. I actually have a pile of wood over here that actually has snow on it. I'm not going to clean it off. We're just going to light it the way it is, and we're going to see if we can get it going and show you guys what it is. Now, you guys are like, well, you know, how do I carry that because I don't want it to break? Of course, you don't want the stick to break. So what I've done is I found these plastic boxes right here that actually can protect my flares in my backpack or in my truck. So I can keep actually multiple ones in there. I can put a couple more in there, but I have 3 in there. I usually have 3 in the box. And it's a nice solid box. Can go in your backpack, can go in the back of your truck, can go into your seat of your truck. And this right here can end up being a lifesaver down the road. Now, I know that there's going to be some people, well, I don't want to carry that. That takes up too much space. That's too much. I don't need to do that. I'll just use a lighter. I'll just use this. I'll just use that. You know, well, here's the thing. Not everybody knows how to use a ferro rod because it takes practice to be able to use one of these right. Not everybody's carrying a lighter because a lot of people don't. I think you should. I mean, everybody should carry a lighter in their pocket, but a lot of people don't, you know, and a lot of people don't know how to do tinder and do all this stuff and gather wood in the proper way. But this right here is guaranteed to get something burning so you can get a fire going if you need to save your life, okay? 100% will make it happen and do it. And if you guys think that carrying something that's this size, which is not super big, in a backpack or carrying it in your vehicle is too much to ask, then maybe you don't give a crap about your life. Well, I do. So I'm just trying to give people something else to think about when it comes to starting fires in emergency situations. Keep these in your car. Keep it in your backpack. You don't even have to take 3. You can take 1, you know, and pack it up however you want to protect it so it doesn't break because you don't want to snap it in half. But either way, this is the ultimate fire starter. And what we're going to do, we're going to show you guys. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to set this camera up. I'm going to show you guys how this works with snow in a fire pit right now. All right, everybody. I hope you guys can see me and I hope you guys can hear me. But here you go. Here's the fire pit. Here it is right here. We've got all the snow. You can see there's snow in it and stuff. There's stuff piled in here and stuff. And we're going to light this sucker up just with this right here. So we're going to pop this off. We got to pop this little cap off right here. And all you got to do is strike this bad boy. And now you got a nice hot flame. Stick it in there. Now there's snow, you guys can see there's snow all in this fire pit. There's snow all in this fire pit. We've been getting snow for a while here. It's been melting off, but this is all wet. Every bit of this is wet. And look, using that flare right there, we have a fire going. And I can move it over here to get this side going. Just shove it in there. and that's just going to burn away. Instant fire. Pop it, boom, you got a fire going. We have fire! And one thing you'll have to do is you will have to work the fire, you know, to keep it going and get it going and get it to burn off the wetness and stuff. But this shows you right now that we just took a bunch of wet crap. It's all powder here. It's been getting snowed on. And now we have a fire that we can add to. We can add dry stuff on there and build to that fire. And that was the point of this, is to show you guys that you can actually use this highway road for this 15-minute burning highway road fire. Get your fire going, you get some dry stuff around it, you get it going and stuff, but it will ignite wet wood and wet stuff to get that started for you so you can get that fire going when you're in an emergency situation. And that was the point of this video, was to show you guys how that's gonna work. So we're gonna let this burn, and I'm gonna go back over here and we're gonna wrap up this video for you guys. Alright guys, so to wrap this video up, as you can see, my fire is still burning and going good over there. And we just used one of these 15-minute highway road flares, which I will say is the best way to start a fire in an emergency situation when it's wet, cold, nasty, you're trying to find dry wood, you need to be able to get something to burn. These 15 or 30-minute highway road flares will get a fire started. You guys can see that there's still snow in that fire pit, but that fire is burning. That stuff was all wet, and all we were doing is stirring it. You got to work it. You got to remember, you got to work the fire. You got to work the fire. But you can see we got a nice good flame going on there. Things are burning well. We'll work it around and get it burned out. But I wanted to do this video because nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever talks about highway road flares and how they are great for starting fires in emergencies. And these 15-minute road flares, they can be found at Walmart. You can find them online at Amazon. A pack of 3 of these is only $8. So for $8, you can get 3 of these, and you can get a fire going like that. So really wanted to do this video and get it out there and just keep it as simple as can be, because like I said, the bushcraft community, survival community doesn't ever talk about a highway road flare as a way to start a fire in an emergency. Maybe because they don't think it's compact enough. Maybe they don't think it works. Maybe they don't know about it. I don't know. I'm not a bushcrafter. I'm not a survivalist. I'm just a guy that likes to get out in the woods and enjoy things. And I have done things where this came in handy. And I did search and rescue. That's where I learned. I did search and rescue for 3 years. That's where I learned this. And it actually works really good, as you guys can see. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to put links down below for all the stuff that I showed you guys today. But the #1 way is a highway road flare. That was wet stuff. It's still burning. We're going to go stir it a little bit so we can burn it up. I hope this information helps anybody out there that's trying to think about other ways to do things in a survival situation. Questions, comments, leave them down below. Like I said, I'm no expert. I'm just a guy that's learned a lot of stuff along the way in my life. So I hope this little tip helps you guys out. $8, 3-pack. This is what it says. This is Orin Emergency Road Flares. I will leave a link down to road flares that you can get off of Amazon if that's where you want to get them, or you can pick them up at your local Walmart. But they work great. They're easy to pack. Like I said, put them in a box like this, and you're golden. It'll protect it, and you'll be good. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope this helps you guys out. Like I said, questions and comments, leave them down below. I will leave links to the fire strikers, the fire steels, all that stuff. I don't think I need to leave links for Bic lighters, but maybe I will anyway. So questions and comments, leave them down below. We'll see you guys on the next one.